So on Sea Sunday, it's worth thinking a bit about boats. Who knows much about boats? Anyone? John does, of course, yeah. Where's he hiding? Oh no.
Seasick.
He's seasick, yeah, must be. As you've seen some of John's boats over there. I was hoping that Jeremy might have been here, or I know that he's got a boat. He's not taken me out on it yet, but I know he's got a boat, so I thought maybe I could interview him about what boats are. So I've got to go back to how I've learned about boats. I first started learning about boats watching TV, which is never a good sign. Who else used to watch Bullseye on TV in the 80s? You're guaranteed, if you lived in the middle of a landlocked city where you would never see the coast, you'd win a speedboat. Guaranteed then to spend all of its life in a trailer in your garden, never seeing water. So I learned about speedboats from Jim Bowen. Not very useful. Then I started learning about the Titanic. So that told me about one sort of boat and quite a sad story with that. Who knows about the Titanic? Yeah? Sorry? You've done a little bit about the Titanic. That's a massive boat, wasn't it? Yes, Bridget? You've done about it at school, and it sadly sank, didn't it? It hit an iceberg. So we know if we're going to sea, we need to be careful of icebergs and other things that might get in the way, or rocks around this area, I suppose. And then I started watching Pirates of the Caribbean and other things to do with pirates. So came across these massive boats with sails. And then I moved to Guernsey, and I came across the Clipper and the Liberation. Possibly not worth mentioning them too much. So a wide variety of boats, and then I hear some of the congregation have got boats they've not taken me out on. So different sorts of boats. In the gospel reading, there was a storm. There was wind. Who's been in a boat? I'm not thinking about the Liberation, I'm thinking about other boats. Who's been on a boat with a bad storm? Yeah, it's rough. And you're going up, and you're going down, and you're going leftwards, and you're going rightwards, and sometimes you're doing all of it at the same time. And it's petrifying. I remember going across to the Isles of Scilly on a pilgrimage 11 years ago when I was in Cornwall. And it felt like a journey to the depths of Sheol would have been smoother and more enjoyable. It got to the stage I was thinking, actually, could I get injured while on the Isles of Scilly to need to be airlifted back to the mainland? Because it was a Sunday and there were no planes or helicopters going. It got that bad. The journey back was smooth as anything. So the wind in a boat is absolutely petrifying. I can understand what the disciples were getting at. We're going to die, please, aren't you bothered? Why won't you wake up? But then, is wind always bad with a boat? Can anyone think of a time when wind might be quite good with a boat? Any sort of boat, yeah? A sailing boat, yes. Very true. A bit like the pirate boats, isn't it? That then, if you haven't got any wind, when you've got a sailing boat, if you're Johnny Depp or someone, then where's the boat going to go? Nowhere. Excellent, yeah. No wind, the boat's just going to sit there. So wind can be quite good with a boat, as well as quite scary and dangerous. It depends what sort of boat it is. In the Acts of the Apostles reading, that Pentecost reading, we heard the Holy Spirit coming down. What's the Holy Spirit described as? There were two things the Holy Spirit was like. It was like the wind, yeah, anything else? And like fire, yes, wind and fire. That's two ways the Holy Spirit is sometimes described. And both of those are actually really scary, aren't they? Really powerful, really dangerous. A fire could get completely out of control. On the other hand, we'd be really cold if there was no fires because we couldn't put the central heating on even. Or have a bonfire, have a barbecue. So there's good fire and bad fire. And then the wind. The mighty wind is described as whooshing around. When I was curate at St Blaise, the sound system there had funny interference, different to our interference, that Father Malcolm used to refer to it as a rushing mighty wind when it started getting interference. Maybe that was saying something about the Holy Spirit with us. At the time I just thought, well, we need to fix the sound system. The breath of God. At the start of Genesis, we hear about the Spirit of the Lord moving over all of creation when it's being formed. The wind, the Holy Spirit, the wind being involved in things being created. So, how would you describe wind? What could you say about wind? It's cold. Yeah.
Good in the heat.
It's good in the heat. Yeah, very true. I was glad that we've got a bit more wind. Let's see if there's anyone at the back has anything to say about wind. Anything about wind? Good, bad descriptions? Yeah. It's strong. It's definitely strong, isn't it? To blow a sailing boat around, it's got to be strong. Anything else? No, you were going to say strong as well. Anything? No. Sorry? Noisy, yes. Very true. Oh, yeah, we've got some more. Have you been reading my notes? I've clearly written down, can we see wind? You've nicked my notes, haven't you? Very good. Yet we can't see it. But we can see what he's doing, can't we? Have you ever been on the beach when there's a lot of wind? And you can see the sand blowing around. You can see the wind because of the sand going through it. And then it gets in your eyes or in your sandwiches. And sand don't taste very nice, even if the name is sandwiches. It's not meant to have sand in it. We can see what the wind is doing. We can see things which are in the wind. We can feel the wind. We can see what the wind has done when we notice that the fence has blown over or the trees are all leaning like this because of so much wind. I love driving the car with the roof down when there's a breeze. I love feeling the wind going through my hair and blowing it around. Not at the moment, it's not long enough for it. Anyone else like doing that? Yeah? Another convertible driver back without you. Do you like the feel of wind in your hair? Yeah. With the window open, yeah, that's good as well. As Bridget doesn't, so she moans when I open the roof or open the windows. But we can feel the wind doing things. It sort of makes us feel good, or most of us feel good. It wakes us up. It gives us new energy. When I was in South Africa, in Cape Town, people used to talk about the Cape Doctor, a particular wind, I forget which direction it was, that was understood to be blowing diseases away. The Cape Doctor was good because it would blow the diseases and it would be healthy because the Cape Doctor had been there. We've probably got similar here, really, haven't we, when the wind gets up on this rock. The Holy Spirit, as wind, we heard wind is strong, it's powerful. We've heard it's like a sailing boat, so the sailing boat moves because of the wind. It makes new things possible. God within us, the Holy Spirit coming to us, makes new things possible. With God, things can happen that can't happen on our own. It's petrifying sometimes, it's dangerous maybe, we're not in control, but God does amazing things. So if we're a boat, if we're thinking about ourselves as a boat, should we be more a boat that's sort of anchored down, not moving, resistant to any wind, but solid? Or should we be a boat, like a big sailing boat with a big sail, open to what God is doing, what the Spirit of God is doing in us, taking us to new places, bringing us new possibilities, making things happen that we could never have imagined. Let us be open to the work of the Holy Spirit in our lives in ways we could never imagine. May we together work out what the Holy Spirit is doing through us, through the church in the Vale, here in 2020 at the end of this pandemic, or hopefully at the end of this pandemic. I wonder what God is going to do as the Holy Spirit of God blows through this place, renews all things and makes new things possible. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.